2025 looks to be the best year for roller coasters in a really long time. Construction has already begun on some of the world's greatest thrill machines at some of the best parks in the world, and some of the coasters planned for 2025 have the potential to become the best roller coaster on the planet. There are also a few major theme parks opening around the world in 2025, along with some of the largest additions we've ever seen. In this video, I'm gonna go through every single one of the major 2025 rumored and confirmed coasters. 2025 will truly be the best year for roller coasters and theme parks in general in a really long time, and this is why. Let's start off with Canada's Wonderland. This park is getting what looks like the most expensive coaster in the park's history. They've been hard at work with construction for this new insane multi-launch coaster that will go inside of the mountain at the front of the park, as well as interact with the front entrance. This new launch coaster really looks spectacular, and it can easily become the park's most expensive addition. It looks like Canada's Wonderland is putting everything they can into this new ride, hoping to make it their signature attraction. While at the time I'm making this video, the manufacturer has yet to be confirmed, I'd bet on it being B&M or Vekoma. If somehow this new coaster is an Intamin though, then get ready, because we're going to be looking at one of the best coasters in the world once it opens. Regardless, this coaster is one of the biggest new additions coming next year, and I'm super excited for it. Alton Towers is working on something exciting nicknamed Project Horizon for 2025. The exact details of this coaster are still unknown, but it's sure to be an awesome new attraction. Phantasiana in Austria is also planning a new coaster for 2025, though not much is known about this one either, other than the fact that it will be a striker coaster built by Mack. Next up, we have two Virginia parks, both celebrating their 50th anniversary. Let's start with Kings Dominion, which looks to be getting a launch B&M wing coaster as a replacement to Volcano. This park is also putting a ton of effort into the theming here, extending the Jungle Expedition theme all the way to Project 305 and Flight of Fear. Kings Dominion has been working hard on one of the largest projects in the park's history, and it's super exciting to see something like this come to the park for its 50th anniversary. Just a few miles down the road, Busch Gardens Williamsburg is also celebrating their 50th anniversary in 2025. This park looks to be getting a family B&M inverted suspended coaster similar to the one opening at Busch Gardens in Tampa for 2024. This ride model looks like a great family coaster, but many are quite disappointed the park is going with something so mediocre for the 50th anniversary, especially after they got approval to build a 220-foot attraction in the same area. The park looks to be building the new family coaster with two lift hills to be homage to the Big Bad Wolf coaster the park had many years ago, and it will likely be themed pretty well. It'll be interesting to see what ends up happening with this park over the next few years, as it is quite strange they would cancel such a major coaster in place of a family coaster. Maybe they could open two new coasters in 2025, or maybe they are pushing back their thrill coaster just one more year so as not to compete with Kings Dominion's major new coaster. We'll just have to wait and see. Hossoland is a brand new theme park scheduled to open next year in northern Poland. This park looks incredible and is supposed to open with a new Vekoma Ghost Rider coaster, as well as a bunch of other major coasters and attractions. This park will also include a Vekoma suspended thrill coaster and a water coaster and mine train from Mack. This park looks super exciting, but it's by far the least significant of the three major theme parks opening next year around the world. 2025 will also likely be the year the Nashville Zoo gets their dueling family Vekoma boomerangs. Steel Pier in New Jersey is planning to open a premier ride, Skyrocket 2, next year, and it's sure to be a big win for the park. These clone coasters are super compact and popular, and they are sure to bring even more success to this local park. Mandoria Park in Poland is set to open a family launch coaster from Vekoma in 2025. The coaster will be called a Quidiya and will be built inside of a tower. Looks pretty cool if you ask me. Something we've seen on this list a few years already makes its way back again for 2025. Circuit Breaker, the Vekoma Tilt Coaster, and Palindrome, the Groslar Eurofighter, coming to Hossoland in Texas, will be delayed just one more year. Hopefully these coasters do actually open next year, because it's getting silly at this point delaying these coasters year after year. Universal is preparing for a major year in 2025, starting with their new massive theme park opening in Orlando. Epic Universe is going to be the greatest new thing we've seen come to the United States in years. This new incredible theme park looks awesome, and words cannot describe how excited I am for it. I'm sure you can't wait to finally visit this park once it opens, and there will be a ton of new coasters here once it does. The headliner attraction at this park is Starfall Racers, a dueling Mack rides launch coaster reaching a height of 133 feet and speeds of 62 miles an hour. The coaster will have over 5,000 feet of track and will feature onboard audio for what will likely be one of the greatest ride experiences at the park. Starfall Racers is quite a long ride and will even feature some super unique, never seen before elements as the two sides interact with each other. The coaster is already fully constructed and has been tested multiple times. The ride will also not have a light package, though the coaster's trains will light up as they go through the layout to make it look like a shooting star. Also coming to Universal's Epic Universe is the Donkey Kong Minecart Coaster. This coaster will be one of the most unique rides in the world, utilizing a fake track with the real coaster track concealed below to make it look like the coaster is jumping through broken areas of track. This ride really looks awesome, and I can't wait to see it open. Epic Universe also has their Mack Rides Family Swing Launch Coaster and their Intamin Family Launch Coaster in the How to Train Your Dragon Land, which will be named Hiccup's Wing Gliders. Universal's Epic Universe has a ton of new coasters, and they are all super exciting. But that's not all Universal has up their sleeve for 2025. There's also the new Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift coming to Universal Studios Hollywood. The Intamin Drift Coaster is a really exciting one, as the coaster trains are going to offer a unique experience like no other, with some sort of spinning or drifting as the trains traverse the layout. This coaster looks like it will be the Velocicoaster of the West Coast and will very likely become one of the best coasters in the world, possibly becoming the best coaster in all of California. Also rumored to be opening next year in California is Six Flags Magic Mountain's 21st coaster. While this hasn't been confirmed yet by the park, there has been a ton of construction at the park, and there are a lot of signs pointing to a massive coaster coming here in 2025. Rumor has it Magic Mountain will be getting a major B&M Giga Coaster, which would be a great fit at the park. There's nothing like it in the area, and it would be another high-capacity coaster at the park, which is something Magic Mountain really could use. Overall, between Six Flags and Universal, it looks like California's gonna be the place to be in 2025. Heading outside the US again, Coneyland in Switzerland is opening a new rollerball coaster next year. There's also a major coaster coming to Magic Land in Italy, though no details have been revealed about the project just yet. I don't know how to pronounce this, so I'll just put it on screen. Free Something City in France is also supposed to open a new coaster next year. One of the most exciting new additions coming in 2025 is the first SNS Axis coaster. Finally! Transformers at 7 Yambu Park will be the first Axis model to open, and though it won't be as big as some had hoped, it's sure to open the door to a lot more Axis coasters if it is indeed successful. Also opening next year is one of the most exciting new parks we've ever seen announced, and that is Six Flags Quidiya. I can't believe it's actually happening, but this park is already very far through construction and is supposed to open with 8 roller coasters. Of course, you have Falcon's Flight, which will be the tallest, fastest, and longest coaster in the world by far. The coaster will reach a max height of 639.8 feet before plummeting down a 519-foot drop, shattering King of the Ka's record. The coaster will reach speeds of 155.3 miles per hour and will be just under 14,000 feet long, sitting with exactly 13,943.6 feet of track. This coaster is just insane, and construction is already almost done. Intamin had to design special new trains for this multi-launch coaster, and it's going to be one of the most insane experiences ever. Falcon's Flight looks awesome, but there are a ton of other incredible coasters opening at the park alongside it. The Iron Rattler Mine Train will be a Vekoma tilt coaster that stands over 200 feet, which is truly insane to think about. The park will also have an incredible Intamin shuttle launch coaster called Spitfire, which will feature the tallest inversion on any attraction with a 239.5 foot tall inverted top hat. The park also has Colossus, which is a GCI wooden hybrid coaster featuring their brand new Titan track. There's also Adrenaline, which will be the park's Vekoma family invert, Sawmill Falls, which is a Mack Rides water coaster, Sea Stallion, which is a Mora spike coaster, and Twilight Express, which will be a small Vekoma family coaster. This park is really going to be insane, and this is really one of the best roller coaster lineups ever to have for opening year. Speedboat at Walibi, Belgium is a Gerstlauer multi-launch coaster opening in 2025. But there's also the dueling RMC Raptors coming to Walibi, Holland next year as well. These dueling Raptors are set to feature totally different experiences, with one side being an insanely high thrill coaster, while the other will be a family coaster with no inversions. This is something really interesting to see from RMC, and the family Raptor will be especially interesting as it will be the first RMC family coaster to open in the world. Holiday Park in Germany is getting a new coaster themed to Tomorrowland, and being the company that owns this park also owns Plopsaland, many have speculated that this new coaster may be a similar ride to Ride to Happiness, which opened at Plopsaland a few years ago. The Mack Rides Extreme Spinners have been huge hits everywhere so far, so another one would just be a big win for us. Mattel Adventure Park has two new coasters opening with it in 2025. First, there's the Chance Rides Hyper GTX coaster called Hot Wheels Twin Mill Racer. This coaster will be a lot different than the first Chance Hyper GTX coaster, and it looks awesome. This park will also open with a family sit-down coaster from Chance Rides called Hot Wheels Bone Shaker. There's yet to be a major successful theme park in this region of the country, so hopefully this park opens to a massive success. Seaworld San Antonio looks to be getting a new coaster for 2025 and track that was already spotted on site. Not much is known yet about this new ride though, other than the fact that it will be manufactured by Cedar. That wraps up the confirmed coasters opening in 2025. Now let's quickly go through the rumored and likely major coasters expected to open in 2025. Of course, Magic Mountain's coaster also hasn't been confirmed yet, even though I mentioned it earlier. SeaWorld San Diego is likely looking at a new B&M for 2025. Originally, I was thinking they'd get a surf coaster, but there's a lawsuit going on with that between B&M and Vekoma, so I'm not sure if they will be able to build a surf coaster anytime soon. That's a topic for another video though, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the awesome content I have coming to the channel. If the surf coaster isn't on the table for SeaWorld San Diego, then my bet would be on a launched family B&M wing coaster coming to the park for 2025. Six Flags Great Adventure I think will likely open a brand new major coaster for the 2025 season. This park originally was supposed to get something major for 2024 for their 50th anniversary. A B&M Giga had been originally in the plans, but the park canceled that last minute. The park then decided to schedule their major new coaster for 2025. Last minute, Six Flags got a chance to purchase the Flash at a discounted price and decided to send it to Great Adventure for their 50th anniversary. Great Adventure has been experiencing a massive boost in investment over the last couple of years, and the park needs a lot more to get it back to the level it once was. There's a lot of evidence pointing to a new coaster coming to the park, and it looks like it's still on track for the intended 2025 opening. I think the park will either get their originally planned B&M Giga for 2025 or a major multi-launch coaster from Intamin. This isn't the only insane new coaster rumored for 2025 though, and I'll get to one of the craziest potential new coasters in just a minute. Lost Island has been rumored to have signed some sort of deal with RMC, potentially purchasing a raptor and maybe even a wild moose attraction. If this is true, then one of the two models will likely open at the park in 2025. Kentucky Kingdom recently closed T3 and they haven't yet replaced it. 2025 may just be the year, and I wouldn't be surprised if that RMC Raptor that was originally planned to open at the park gets revived for 2025. I could also see a new Vekoma family thrill coaster come here for 2025, but who knows? Six Flags New England is way overdue for a new coaster, and it's very possible they get a brand new major thrill coaster for 2025. There are so many options that would be great fits here, and I really hope Six Flags doesn't ignore this park for another year. It's also possible Lake Compounds opens a new coaster in 2025, and I really hope they don't get a second launch coaster before New England gets there first. Valley Fair is also on the table for a new coaster in 2025. It's the next bottom tier Cedar Fair park that needs a new coaster, and this may finally be the year it happens. DollyWood will be 2 years out from Big Bear Mountain in 2025, and it's possible they open their next major thrill coaster, but my eye is more on 2026, and I think it'll be the same with Hershey Park, though both parks have a small chance of opening their next coaster in 2025. What could potentially be two of the largest new coasters opening in 2025, but also could not happen at all, is the rumored Seaworld Orlando and Busch Gardens Tampa 2025 coasters. I could see Seaworld make significant investments into both these parks, giving them massive new attractions in order to get people that come for Epic Universe to stay an extra day or two for Seaworld or Busch Gardens. It's also possible Seaworld gets scared of Epic Universe overshadowing them and decides not to open anything new at all in Florida for 2025. If these parks do get new coasters though, I'd bet on Seaworld Orlando getting a dueling RMC Raptor and Busch Gardens Tampa getting a B&M Giga. But what do you think these parks have in store for 2025? Last but not least, there's little old Six Flags America. This park has been neglected in what has been a decades-long sad story, but it seems that's all changing. I have a mini documentary on this park's incredible tragic history and why their future is brighter than ever, starting with RMC Roar, which may very likely happen in 2025. Click here to hear the untold story of Six Flags America. It's one of the best videos on the channel, and I put months of work into it. Six Flags America's story is really an incredible one, and I'm surprised I'm the first to do a major documentary like this on the topic. You're not going to believe the rich history this park has and the incredible, exciting future waiting in store.